I'm Kip Milligan with TBTV, and tonight we bring you the story of one man's triumph over adversity. They say one man's trash is another man's treasure, but sometimes it's a fresh fetus. The year is 1992, and it's a scene all too familiar. A newborn lay crying atop a trash heap, abandoned by his mother. They're called dumpster babies. Some have grown to be doctors, lawyers, and in some cases, trash men. But they were found. What happens when they're not? Tonight, we bring you the story of one man who refused to be refuse. Mr. Mowgli grew up like most of his peers, but it was his birthplace that made it impossible to form any lasting friendships. So Keith...
Keef!
What is it?
Keef with an F.
Spell that.
K-E-E-F.
When you hear the term white trash, what does that do to you?
You know, it's offensive. You know, being literal trash. I feel like people don't know how deep that wound can cut, you know?
Is that gunfire?
I don't know, it's a lie. I feel like he should be dead by now. Cut it the fuck out, Tito!
When were you found?
I think I was about 3 years old. So I spent a lot of time in that dumpster, you know? Made some friends.
You were in the dumpster for 3 years.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. They don't get picked up that often. Look at this dog, it's so cute. I always wanted a dog for Christmas.
So you were in the dumpster for 3 years. How did you eventually get out?
Well, basically, I grew up enough to where I could just climb out myself.
And then?
I climbed out.
So Keith, what did you live off of when you were in the dumpster?
Basically anything I could get my hands on, you know? Like, old banana peels, handlebars. The first few weeks I survived on my own afterbirth. I guess you could say I'm pretty self-sufficient. I said knock it off, Tito.
Where did you go after you climbed out?
Well, I found this nifty basement and first, and I hung out here for a couple years before they noticed me. But after they did, it just didn't have the heart to kick me out.
Do you remember anything at all from your time in the dumpster?
I remember the smell.
And what did it smell like?
Gun and fupa. You want Philly cheesesteak?
You look pretty well put together. I mean, were you ever injured along the way, or how did you take care of yourself for all that time?
Well, for about the first 2 years, I wasn't able to stretch out completely, so my legs are a little fucked up. But
could you watch your language? We're gonna have to edit that.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know this was gonna be on TV. I painted this in the dumpster. I used old crayons and some chewed up deodorant.
So the weather. I mean, how did you deal with the elements?
Well, the elements weren't really that much of a problem. You know, I'm a good swimmer. I got thick skin. I think one time somebody threw a cigarette butt in the dumpster because I had this burn mark on my forehead as long as I remember. When it rains, it pours.
But Keith assured me life outside the dumpster has been a hard transition.
Yeah, Shorty, look me in the eyes. It's fantastic.
Alright, so let's fast forward a bit. You're 3 years old. You climb out of this dumpster. How do you learn how to talk?
Well, the neighbors in the next house over, they were always pretty vocal. So I got to learn like the basics, like bitch and cunt and fuck.
No, listen. What did I say about the language?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Some other ones like food stamps and chlamydia. And this heroin addict used to shoot up in the dumpster. Didn't even know I was there.
So what are some of your hobbies and interests? I noticed over your shoulder there a few lighthouses.
Oh yeah, I collected a few of those over the years. Various dumpsters. I've always wanted to be a longshoreman. I don't know who to talk to about that. Could you write me a letter of recommendation?
Like hell I will.
You know, this one's always been my favorite.
So this is a cliche question, but where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I could see myself, maybe helping other dumpster babies find their mothers. Because I feel like everyone deserves a second chance. I don't want them to have to go through all the battles that I went through. I want them to know that they have somebody there for them. I brought this from the dumpster with me. I think it might belong to my mother. Her name might be Jane T. I think she might be a boat janitor. I think the main thing I want to know is just why. I feel like I'm just as good as any other baby, you know? Was I not good enough to be a child? Look guys, I found another lighthouse. You know, I always wanted to be a longshoreman.
When you think about your mother, the woman who left you in this dumpster, is there any interest there to someday find her?
Well, I was upset for a long time. But I think I'm finally ready to find my mother. You always come down here when I need cigarettes, you know? People always talk after them in such a fucking way.
And it was this hopeful outlook that helped one dumpster baby grow to become a dumpster man.
Holy shit!